Welcome back. I know you guys are excited for this one, but you guys know it definitely wasn't that easy. Let's get after it.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, today we're going to take a little pause, fix a couple things, upgrade a couple things, talk about a couple things. But now we're taking a little break to do a little bit of hot rodding. So, we lost dome pressure. We got some things we're going to install to fix that. Had a sensor go bad, so we're going to put in a better sensor. And also, I want to upgrade something. So, the way the system was leaking, basically we were running out of dome pressure, and I use compressed air in the car. And if we had a little bit more volume and pressure, we probably could have made the full pass under full power. So I currently in the car have a 1 gallon tank. This is a 1.5 gallon tank. Currently in the car, it's 105 PSI max. This is 150 PSI max. This compressor is way bigger than the compressor I got, so it'll be less strain on the battery because it'll fill it quicker. Well, it actually might be more drain. I don't know, but in theory, you know, that thing bogging down for 5 minutes flat versus this thing running 2 minutes and done, it should help. Now, if we had this, even though we had the leak, we probably would have had a full pass under power. So that's why I'm upgrading this. And I think it'll be more stable because that thing kicks off at 105 PSI, the original tank I have. However, I tried regulating it higher than 60 PSI one time and it couldn't go over 80. So that means it was only making it to about 80 PSI. So this will help us because it'll have 150 PSI. Now this tank I got on Amazon from Evil Energy. I took their sticker off of it because they don't deserve a sticker on my car. And I think it was like 70 bucks, maybe 80. This pump was 140 and it is this Vixen air horn pump. You know, I've heard that some people say they burn out, but those people that are using these on their train horns, they got them on like a 7 gallon tank. So that's really making these work. This is a 1.5 gallon tank and I'll be filling it once a pass and it'll have plenty of time to cool down. So the duty cycle is way stronger on this too. It's 100% duty cycle at 100 PSI. So that's way better. That means after 100 PSI, the duty cycle is no longer 100%, so it no longer is as efficient as it is. All the way up to 100 PSI, it is efficient, so that's not bad. They come with a little hob switch here. Okay, this hob switch turns off at 150 PSI, and it turns back on at 120 PSI. So all you do is you connect your power to this with a fuse and a relay and your ground, okay? And actually, I'm sorry, you connect your power to this, and when the switch closes, meaning it's under 120 PSI, it'll kick on. And the switch will open back up when it hits 150 PSI, which will shut this off. So this is basically the on-off switch for that. And then you just use a relay. And fuses, gotta have fuses on these things. It came with this little rinky-dink one, but the one I got in the car already, I think will be fine. It's also got this little filter wafer for the end of the compressor there. So we got a couple things we can get done today and maybe some data to look over to see how much better it is. Yeah, the whole goal here is a little bit more headroom. So if there is a small leak, don't run out going down the track. It has the pressure to keep up. And the other goal is to get the dome pressure more stable, more like laser-like, which is what you would see with a CO2 system. Now I do have to be careful because I have one regulator and I set it at 60 PSI, and that shifter that I got, the Motion Racework shifter, I think they recommend 60 to 80 PSI. So 80 is probably as hard as I'm going to be able to push it. If I wanted to give it 100 PSI to the MAC valves, I would have to put another regulator in and then branch off. That way 100 PSI gets to the MAC valves, or I'm sorry, I would set the back regulator to 100 PSI and then put another regulator before the shifter at 60 PSI. So that controls and keeps everything down to 60 PSI for the shifter, and everything else will get what you already regulated it to at 100 in the back. But the goal is to move those MAC valves way closer to the wastegates. That way it's quicker response because it has to fill all those tubes, and then once that pressure hits a wall and equalizes, then your sensor reads it and makes the change. That delay can cause the computer to, or the Holly to hunt for it, and you'll see this in your data. Your PID settings could do that as well. that's the pump difference. That's tank difference.
So there I am, getting after it and just getting it done. The same thing you need to do out in your garage right now. But I do appreciate that you're taking the time to watch my video. Now make sure you're subscribed now, because we gonna go fast and we're gonna have to reset our goal again.
Alright, so that's all hooked up now. Way bigger compressor, which is nice. Tank's gonna go right there. It's all hookered up. And I swapped out that fitting on the front. Right down in there. Put the new hose in it. You got the old fitting? I'll show the peoples.
It's like stuff pushed back.
Yeah, so it's like flat down. Don't really want to come off. The ones that are good, they're popped out like that. So, not sure what happened, but either way, got a new one in there and a couple spares. Now we need to fire this choker up, air up the tank, do some PID tuning. But our voltage was definitely taking a hit, so our alternator might be having problems too. The voltage is slowly going back up to 13.8. It was at 12.5. And the battery's not a bad battery. And we did charge it last weekend before we went Sunday, so. Alright guys, let's test it out. Cool.
So in typical fashion, I did not get the PID settings perfect, but I got them to where they were working all right. And then the next day, the last thing we were waiting on was an alternator, because I went and I ordered a Mechman alternator. This alternator I'm taking off is a 105 amp alternator. That's with the stock pulley. That's before I put a 3-inch pulley on it. So that alternator was probably kicking out around 70 or 50 amps. Not enough. We did hit our battery safety because of it. This Mechman, it's going to be kicking out around 270 amps. That's plenty. That's a lot. It's rated at 250, but the QC tag that came with it said at 2300 RPM, it's producing 270 amps. So this is definitely going to help things. And yeah, shouldn't have no more battery issues or voltage drops.
With the compressor on, it's in the hardest phase, over 100 psi or whatever. Battery voltage is no longer dipping under 14 volts, 14.1. So that's pretty baller. It's definitely doing its job.
What are you doing?
That's the first time I've ever turned the chute, and man, that was smooth. And I barely had to use my brakes at all. That was just crazy to me. It slowed down completely. So we had a little bit of tire shake, but at the time we thought we were losing traction. So we went ahead and reviewed the footage, and this is what we saw. Yep, the front maxed out too quick, so we added 2 clicks to the front, rebound, tightening it up. We came back to hit it again. You cannot be sleeping on BMF tuned. Can't be sleeping on them BMF tuned cars out there. They're gonna get you. Anyways, I hit a boost safety because I was doing a little bit of PID adjustments, and I accidentally changed my fixed pressure to what it was not. I'd set it to 60 when it was actually 70. I don't know how or why I did it. It just happened. So I hit the boost safety. It was about to be on a mission there. That was 30 pounds of boost out the right before it cut. But we also reviewed footage because we still had tire shake. And this is when we saw this.
I had, yeah, see that wobble?
So we added a little tire pressure, you know, get rid of that wadding too hard. Maybe that tire shake will go away. Let's find out. And yeah, we left the front shocks alone because it looked good in that video. And this is a pass at 25 pounds of boost.
Yeah, you're not going to want to be there.
Yeah. What you think about that, little man? Give me some nuts. No nuts, get some snakes. So. Hey, the launch, no tire shake.
Butter.
No tire shake.
So you need a little bit more extra air.
PB 60 foot, 128. That's awesome. I'm stoked about that. Super stoked. All right. My hands are shaking again. 356 to the 330. You didn't. 549 to the 8th.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. At 126. And then, of course, 863. Quarter mile at 155.
155. No shoot this time.
Yeah, no shoot.
I sucked it up. I sucked it up. I was like, all right, it's going to be sketch, but that's okay.
Dude, we'd have just thrown it in the trunk and packed it tomorrow.
I did what I had to do. Oh my God.
Successful
All right.
day, dude.
We'll get back because I got to make a few phone calls.
All right.
So there you have it. 25 pounds of boost. We got more in it. We got other options after we find the limit. We're just on cloud 9 right now. This car is just working real good. BMF Tuned has got us so dialed in, it's not funny. Like, we're able to figure out exactly what we're going for. He was going for an 870 pass. It ran an 863. Next, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to call anything, but next time, guys, we're going faster. All right, guys, we got a couple things we're gonna address, and you're gonna see it in the next video. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because we've got more to come.